Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I start by thanking my dear honourable friend, the member for Truro and Falmouth, for having the bravery we have seen here today, but throughout her time in this place, she has fought and campaigned very, very bravely for those who have experienced the loss that she has. And I think, Madam Deputy Speaker, we see this place at its very best when we come together, we put politics aside and we discuss these issues which are so important and affect so many thousands of families across our country. And I'd also like to pay tribute to the former Minister of State for Patient Safety, Suicide Prevention and Mental Health, my right honourable friend, the member for Mid-Bedfordshire, who has certainly put campaigning for women's health at the front of government priorities. I too have experienced baby loss, and I remember it as if it was yesterday. It was my first pregnancy with my husband, and sadly at 8 weeks it didn't continue, and it is something that stays with me even today. It's the first time I've actually spoken about this publicly. But I was very fortunate in that within 5 months I was pregnant again, and I had my rainbow baby, which until Mrs Johnson, the Prime Minister's wife, used that term, I'd never heard of the rainbow baby, but it is a fantastic term because it's actually about the positiveness that can come out after the dreadful experience of losing a baby. And my rainbow baby is now 17 years of age, in her last year of school and about to begin her life adventure. But it wasn't until I had my miscarriage that I realised that 1 in 4 pregnancies can be lost in this country, usually early, before 12 weeks. But more than this, there's estimates from St Mary's Hospital in Paddington, which is based in my constituency, suggest that there are around about 250,000 miscarriages every year in the United Kingdom, and around 11,000 emergency admissions for ectopic pregnancies, the latter always sadly resulting in pregnancy loss. And the theme of well-being for the forthcoming Baby Loss Awareness Week this year, I think, is so important. On this, that I am very proud to highlight the work of the brilliant maternity wards at St Mary's Hospital, who were the first in London to receive an outstanding rating from the CQC. And I would invite the Minister of State here today to join me in a future visit to this work to see their work firsthand, and also hopefully the member for Truro and Falmouth. I note that from patients from within St Mary's, which is part of the Imperial College NHS Trust, have been taking part in a new study which has shown that 1 in 6 women experience long-term post-traumatic stress following baby loss. The study, which is the... Of course.
Congratulate her, like myself, have my rainbow baby. But we know that the road to pregnancy isn't always smooth. And the numbers that you highlight, that the member highlighted just then, show how frequent this happens. And isn't it time now that we review the cruel requirement for 3 miscarriages or baby losses before medical intervention is offered to families?
I thank the honourable member for her intervention. I think the debate today, it's clear that there needs to be more support for women and their partners when they experience miscarriage. I will never forget when I became pregnant with my daughter, how terrified I was going for the 12-week scan, because my first experience had been baby loss, and that I had been told at that scan that the baby was not viable. But and I think I would have benefited from some counselling and some support when I was going for that second baby, the scan for the second baby.
Anna Bardo. thank the Honourable Lady for giving way and on the very powerful speech she's making, and appreciate the very personal nature of what she's sharing. It brings so much to this House that everyone is doing that. Would she join me in commending local organisations like Held in Our Hearts in my Livingston constituency, who've been operating for 40 years and support with counselling services for those who've experienced baby loss, and would she agree that they're absolutely vital in supporting those who've suffered such loss?
Nickie Aiken.
I thank the Honourable Member for her intervention, and she's absolutely right. We are blessed in this country for having so many outstanding charities and organisations that support women and their partners when they are experiencing baby loss. The study that the Imperial College NHS Trust is involved in has revealed some incredible findings. For example, after 1 month following a pregnancy loss, nearly 1/3 of women suffer post-traumatic stress, while nearly 1 in 4 experienced moderate to severe anxiety, and 1 in 10 had moderate to severe depression. So, these are women who are going through such pain, and it is clear that they need more support. The scale is truly astonishing. So here, I think, due to the consideration should also be paid to those who, not just the women, but their bereaved families, who, as we've heard today from my right honourable friend for Surrey West, that it does affect the fathers involved. I remember from my own experience, my husband going through such loss. And when I was researching for this debate, I reached out to an outstanding woman called Jane Scott, who is the senior bereavement midwife at Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust. And she's here today, I believe, I think above me, with her colleague Laureen Petrie, who have done, I mean, midwives up and down this country do amazing work, but Jane in particular has given me powerful testimony before this debate today, explaining that before 2013 there was little, if no, provision on the labour ward that she worked on in St Mary's for parents who had experienced the death of a baby. And it was down to her tenacity and her basically battling the NHS Trust that she was able to secure specialist services for bereaved parents. She was saying that at the time that she was battling, that parents, and I will quote from what she said to me, at the time parental complaints were rife. Babies were going missing. Funerals were going ahead without the parents' knowledge. Communication was poor, which added to longevity to the grieving process for parents. There was no provision for psychological support or counselling for parents. I was completely shocked when I read that, because to have a baby, to lose a baby, but then not to be able to have a funeral, no matter how early in the pregnancy that you experience a baby loss, I find was just absolutely unacceptable. But with Jane's hard work and her setting up of the bereavement services in St Mary's, 90% of parents' complaints dropped, and she says that the ward became almost unrecognisable. It became so much more of a positive place to be. And she is a member of the APPG for baby loss, and has continued to campaign to highlight the importance of understanding the effects of baby loss. And she has now set up the National Bereavement Midwife Forum, which compares services, exchanges best practice, and basically provides support for midwives. There are now, I understand, 250 members in the National Bereavement Midwife Forum across the UK, and I would like to pay tribute to Jane Scott and her fellow midwives today for the outstanding work that they provide. So, from speaking to Jane and others, the National Bereavement Midwife Forum firmly believes and is calling for there to be consideration for one full-time bereavement midwife per every 3,000 deliveries in each trust. I think that's a reasonable request, and I would welcome any support the Minister would give to ensuring that NHS trusts do consider this. The forum also is calling for a standardised of the trauma counselling for bereavement midwives and bereaved parents. And we also need to ensure that there are Band 8 regional bereavement midwives to oversee such services in each trust. All sensible measures. And I would like to ensure that midwives, particularly those who are experienced the dreadful patient death of in a death of a baby when they are looking after a mother, that I can't imagine how it must feel to be in that profession and experience that and work with a mother and a father who are going through such trauma. And I think we have to do more to support midwives and doctors who do experience that dreadful experience. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, I would conclude that, again, I would like to thank my friend, the member for Truro and Falmouth, for securing this debate. I am in awe of you, and I would also, again, pay tribute to all those midwives and doctors who work tirelessly day in, day out. And I would say to anybody who has experienced bereavement of a lost baby that you are not alone.